Is that gold my steak, which cost me over $1,000? I'm convinced this will be the best steak. I hate to break it to you, but more expensive food isn't always better. I know I'm quite late to this. I know Salt Bae was used like a punching bag the last few days. Ever since his awfully cringe appearance during the World Cup, where he blatantly went up to all of the players and tried to make the entire celebration all about him, thinking he's playing the same role as the Queen, for instance, when she was alive, before she died. Because apparently selling overpriced steak and having a Fortnite emote makes you worthy of such treatment. Of course, people weren't happy about this because what in Salt Bae actually makes him important to be celebrating with all the other players? Just because he can do this thing, slap some sweat salt on somebody's steak, I don't know what happened. Salt Bae got quite popular 4 to 5 years ago, after a clip of him cutting up a steak covered in gold-looking paper worth a few dollars on Amazon and sprinkling it with a touch of elbow sweat, salt went viral. Ever since then, he became a huge meme. I mean, he's in Fortnite, so he knows the big deal. When a huge company decides to steal from you, you know you're doing the right thing. But whenever I go into YouTube Shorts, for some apparent reason, every day I get clips of Salt Bae doing his cutting technique, his little ritual, to the point I fully memorize it. He does this, he cuts it up, does this thing, and then... I mean, it looks satisfying. I just wonder what is Salt Bae thinking about it as he's performing. Does he really think that his appearance and his moves are considered a luxury? I bet Salt Bae is laughing at the fact how dumb these people are while looking at the profit he's making of charging them few thousand for a show. Like when you go to the Salt Bae restaurant, you're paying for a steak, which is probably worth around $50. Because of course, it is higher quality steak. In most cases anyways, we'll get into that later. Of course, the steaks are overpriced. So you're paying $50 for a steak, and then $1,000 for a clown. And I really don't know who's the clown. Is it Salt Bae, or is it the customer demanding this performance? But do you know what they say? Don't blame the player. Blame the game. This little performance, which as a straight enough white male, it's hot. Like Salt Bae is hot. Not only his little performance brought him popularity and internet relevance, I suppose, but it also brought him a heck ton of cash. In some places he gets looks-alike of him to do the job, or sometimes he just chooses a random white boy to cut up the steak and do the performance. There is a Salt Bae restaurant which opened in London, and according to Google reviews, it ranks lower than their local McDonald's, with 2.6 stars for a luxurious steakhouse where your items are supposed to be high quality, and also the clown performance charge. Never forget about that one. Let's read some reviews. I'll go for the lowest. 2.8 stars is very low. I've seen trash restaurants around my area which have like 3.5 stars, maybe even 4 stars. And they're bad. They're known in the community as being bad places, but they still somehow rank higher than Salt Bae's restaurant. This person is basically pointing out the fact that the green gold leaf costs like $8 on eBay. How come a 5-pound beef leg from the same supplier can become 5,000 pounds just as Nusrat? It's the name of the restaurant. This is just for people who have extra money. It really is. Because people usually talk bad about people who buy, Gucci clothing, all of those Supreme brands, a Supreme brick, a Supreme crowbar. Like, why would a person buy this? Of course, to flex their money. Also spending 5,000 pounds just for one steak. And these 5,000 can feed a whole village in any poor country. That's true. My experience was really bad as meat wasn't that bad, but the service was terrible. As I expected better, spending over 1,400 pounds. Not happy, will never return again. I don't think there's a person who would return to this restaurant, to be fair. I have had better food from Five Guys. Of course, some people might still like it, but the majority of reviews are, no, not as good. The only advertising of these restaurants is the service. Overpriced garbage food. Plus, the owner of this establishment is a total gimp. Forcing his way onto a football pitch. Yeah, people are also complaining about that, huh? I think many people went to this restaurant after the entire World Cup thing happened for some apparent reason. Worst restaurant in London. Paid 10k just for the salt emote and got elbow hair in my food. I've also seen reviews about the thing that he does with the steak, how he just feeds it to the girl usually. I think that's so awkward to be on a date with your wife or your girlfriends, and this Chad-looking person just feeds your partner. I can't imagine it, but nobody really likes Salt Bae anymore. Food critics have always criticized him because his food is more of a label, just like Supreme. Because of the majority of what you're paying for is the brand. But at the same time, I can still respect Salt Bae because he earns so much money for things he shouldn't. This is something I'm open about this channel. I respect people who get money by doing nothing. I also have other videos on this channel if you would like to check them out. Salt out.